Hello and welcome back to EHC TV. I'm Emily Carrier and this is your feature interview. In honor of October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, today I have breast cancer survivor and E&H alum Tammy Martin on set with me today. Tammy, thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now, I want to jump right in with you. Can you kind of walk me through your diagnosis of breast cancer?
Sure. This was actually caught with a routine mammogram, which I'm very, very thankful for. I've always been very proactive with my health, and so I would never miss an appointment. And it was, like I said, found with a routine mammogram, very small and in place, was not invasive, which means it had not spread in the breast. And I only had to have a lumpectomy followed by 6 weeks of radiation. And I consider myself very, very fortunate in that case because if I had skipped my appointment or if it had started growing after my appointment, it would have been another year before it was found. So I feel very blessed and very fortunate that it was found early and very small.
How recently was this discovered?
This was in April of this year. Yeah. I actually found out on tax day my diagnosis, and I have a good sense of humor, so I was telling everybody it was sort of taxing news. But it was still a shock to my system. I have a lot of cancer on both sides of my family, but not breast cancer. Colon rectal, lung cancer, lymphoma, bone cancer. And so I was not surprised that I got cancer, but very surprised that I got breast cancer. I really never thought I would get breast cancer.
My Nana is also a breast cancer survivor. She had it when I was a very little girl, and something she remembers is there wasn't a lot of community support. There wasn't a big support system for breast cancer back then. Mm-hmm. Did you get that same sense, or are you a part of a support group?
I'm not actually a part of a formal support group, but many of my friends, I probably have 12 friends who have had breast cancer, radical breast cancer, and people, once they found out that I had breast cancer, reached out to me unbelievably. I was just overwhelmed with emails and cards and a lot of support. Of course, now it's in the media, October Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Relay for Life, everything trying to bring attention to it, which is all very good.
Have you been a part of any Relay for Life or similar fundraiser?
I have. I've participated in Relay for Life, and it's a wonderful event, and if you haven't participated in it, it's a good thing to be involved with. So,
now I want to talk to you about your definition of a survivor. I know some ladies, the minute they're diagnosed, I am surviving this breast cancer. Or did you have a moment where, maybe throughout your treatment, or just a moment where you felt like I have finally beat this?
I would say, first of all, embrace the diagnosis. Some people are afraid to say the word cancer. I have some friends who had cancer. They were afraid to say the word cancer. But first of all, embrace the diagnosis and then be proactive with your treatment. I opted not to stay here locally, and I went elsewhere for treatment because I wanted to receive the best treatment. So from the very beginning, I was determined to be a survivor.
And you mentioned that your cancer was found in a routine mammogram. Mm-hmm. I know there's a lot of campaigns around campus and in the community about that early detection is the key to survival. Mm-hmm. I guess that importance is magnified with you.
It is, and like I say, that I was proactive, but I also, like I said earlier, I didn't think I would ever get breast cancer. So I came up with a little thing. I said I had PID, which was proactive, informative denial. It's very important to be proactive and to stay with your checkups. And like I said, I feel very fortunate, very, very fortunate that it was caught early.
Now, on a lighter note, you're an Emory and Henry alum.
I am.
Class of 1986.
Correct.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Tell me about your Emory experience.
Well, my Emory experience started when I was just a very young child because I am a native of Emory. and I just live a half a mile up the road. So I spent a lot of my younger years riding my bike around campus, playing at the duck pond and everything. So I started early, and to me, you know, I looked at other colleges, but because of Emory's reputation, there was no other choice. And Emory has such a good reputation. It did back in the 80s and it still does today. And I had a lot of great experiences here. I was a cheerleader for the football team and basketball team. I was in the Emory and Henry Concert Choir. We traveled to London and to Wales, and great experiences there. I was part of the mass comm department, so this place has a very special place in my heart. Was on the radio show and everything. So Emory is always special to me. It's always been special to me from, like I said, from very young to where I am now. So,
Well, I can see you've taken away some communication skills from your Emory experience. How has the Emory community impacted your life post-graduation?
Post-graduation, are you talking about the Emory community in general or the Emory Henry College community? Since I'm part of both, I have to clarify.
Tell me about both.
Well, the college community on campus, and it extends out into the regular community, we're very service oriented, and you know, accepting your invitation to come and be interviewed was a way for me to give back and to hopefully tell all the young ladies out there not to skip any appointments and to be proactive in what they do. So the Emory community, just a strong service-minded community, giving back, and has prepared me for many things that I've experienced in my life.
How has campus changed since your time here? We were talking about the construction as you were coming up to Miller. Tell me about that.
Right. I said I would have been here a few minutes early, but the road was closed. But a lot of construction since the 80s, and I think every addition has been needed and is making a great addition to the college campus life for students. I just think there are still great things to come up on the campus. I personally hope construction doesn't go too far so it doesn't take away from the beauty of the campus, but I think everything has been tastefully done so far.
And Tammy, before you go, I want to ask you for any advice or further encouragement for any young lady that might be watching that may have just been diagnosed with breast cancer. What would you tell her?
I would say you will be fearful. The most fearful time for me was after I was diagnosed, and I did not have a plan in place. I was waiting to meet with the surgeon. So it was the unknown. What decision would I personally make once I met with the surgeon? So be aware that there will be times of fear, but also be courageous. As I said, be proactive, and make sure that you get the best health care that you can afford to get, because in case there's a reoccurrence down the road, that may be play an important part in your recovery. As I said earlier, I opted to go somewhere else. I went to Wake Forest University Baptist Hospital, and for various reasons, the history of cancer in my family. But then I was looking down the road. If this reoccurs, they'll have a history of me being there, and hopefully it will help me in the future.
Well, Tammy, thank you for giving back to our department today. And thank you for watching. I'm Emily Carrier. This has been your EHC TV feature interview. This has been Tammy Martin, an ENH alum and breast cancer survivor. And now we will send it over to Tweet, Pray, Love with Cole Conley.